Hello students, welcome to another class of Engineering Mechanics. This is Ahmed Abdul Ahad, Department of Civil Engineering, Assistant Professor at ISL Engineering College. So since we were studying about analysis of frames, so today we'll take down another type of problem related to analysis of frames. Okay. So the question, note down the question, find the forces in members. The question is, find the forces in members df dg df comma dg and eg for the truss shown in figure. For the truss shown in figure. Okay, so the truss is given in the question. So this is the figure given to us in the question, and the question is find the forces in members df, dg and eg for the truss shown in figure. Also it has mentioned that in the question itself, using method of sections. So one method is method of joints, another which we have seen in the previous classes. Now in this method is method of sections. So method of sections is very simple and it is not that much lengthier when compared to method of joints. Okay, so for example, see here the questioner is asking us to calculate the forces in member df, then dg and eg. Okay, these are the members in which he is asking us to calculate the forces, right? Force in member df, force in member df, force in member dg, right? Force in member dg and force in member eg, that is this one. Okay, so whenever they ask you to calculate about the forces in these members, so what we have to do is we have to take sections. Okay, what do you mean by section? What I will do here, I will draw a section here. Okay, very carefully observe here. I'll take down the section. Let us draw with blue color. So what I am doing here, you observe here carefully. We need to calculate for moment in force in member df, then dg and eg. So what we have to do, whatever the members in which we have to calculate the forces, we'll cut those sections. Okay, we'll cut those bars with sections, that is like this. You can see here I am taking a section. Okay, let us take a section like this, straight section. I'll take a section. This is how I will take the section. Okay, this is the section. The section should be taken in such a way that it should cut the minimum 3 bars of the frame or truss. Okay, so see here I have cut the bar, cut the member here, that is at this location. I have cut it, that is df member has been cutted. So df we want to calculate, right? So I have cutted df. Then my section is passing through the member dg. So dg, he is also asking us to calculate dg. dg is also splitted into 2 parts, dg member. Along with that, member eg is also connected. We have placed our section is passing through the member eg, so that my member eg has been split up into 2 parts. Okay, so now we have to assume either we should take the left side or right side of the section. Which part we will take? Okay, Either we can take right side or left side. So if you see the right side of the frame has less members when compared to the left side of the frame, right? This side has less members when compared to these members. We want to calculate only these forces, I mean force in member DF, force in member DG, and force in member DG. Okay, so these are the three members in which we have to calculate our forces, right? So what we will do here is we'll try to first calculate the reactions. Whatever the reactions will be getting over here at this location we'll calculate, and also at this location whatever the reactions we'll be getting at RH and RA and RH. First we'll calculate those forces, then later on we'll go for the calculations, that is method of sections. Okay, right. So I'll place my reactions, that is first is we have RA, we have another one, that is RH. So first we'll calculate RA and RH. Solution. Okay, sigma x is equal to 0. So we don't have any horizontal force. This force is there, but we don't have any horizontal reactions. So directly we can go for sigma y is equal to 0. So how many horizontal forces we have? How many vertical forces we have? We have here RA plus RH. These are the two forces which are going in upward direction, whereas minus 10, minus 15 and minus 10, isn't it? Minus 10, minus 15 and minus 10 kilonewton is passing in downward direction, equal to 0. So what happens? RA plus RH, RA plus RH, RA plus RH is equal to how much? 35, right? 35 newtons. Call this as equation number 1. Now moment of all forces about point A is equal to 0. If you calculate moment of all forces about point A is equal to 0, then we will get 10 into 10 plus 15 into 20. This force 15, force into perpendicular distance. Then we have plus 10 into 30 minus RH into 10, 10, 10, 10. So totally 40, right? Plus RH plus 20 into 10 equal to 0, right? 10, this force 10 is this one. Okay, this 15 is this 15. 10 is this, 10 is this one. Force into perpendicular distance, force into perpendicular distance. So if you simplify this one, you will get here 100 plus 300 plus 300 is plus this RH into 40, we will send it towards right hand side, plus 200 is equal to 40 RH. So add these terms, 500 plus 400, 900, right? So 900 divided by 40 is equal to RH. So that implies RH is equal to 900 by 40 is 22.5 newtons. So this is RH, right? Now substitute the value of RH, substituting in equation number 1. So if we substitute RH is equal to 22.5 in equation number 1, we'll get RA plus 22.5 is equal to 35. That implies RA is equal to 35 minus 22.5 is equal to RA is equal to how much? RA is equal to 12.5. We got RA and RH. Now after calculation of RA and RH, we have to first select which side of the section we will consider. Either we can select this side, right side of the section, or left side of the section. If you see the figure carefully, on the right side of the section we have very less members, so our simplification will become easier if you select the right side of the section. So what I will be doing here is I'll select the right side of the section. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take down, we'll take this figure downward, okay, so that it will be easy for us to draw our frame here. Okay, right. So what I will do here, you see, I will draw this part of the section. Okay, first is I will draw this part. Okay, we have here this point is F, and we have one force which is 20 Newton, right? And since I have cutted this section, so what I will do here, at this location I will be taking force in member DF. This one will be force in member DF. This is going exactly in horizontal direction, right? So FDF, I'll take this as FDF. Then at this location, this is G and this is H, right? So here we have one vertical force, that is RH. What is the value of RH? We got 22.5. RH is equal to 22.5. And here at G we have one force which is going in downward direction, that is 10 Newton. Okay, and one more force, this one is FDG, and another force is FEG, right? So these are the three forces in three members in which we have to calculate our forces, isn't it? First is FDF, FDG and FEG, and we all know that this angle, that is this angle is 45 degrees. How 45 degrees? This horizontal distance is 10 and vertical distance is also 10. So tan 1 is nothing but 45, right? Tan 10 by 10. See here, this is the triangle, right? This one is the triangle, and this is 10 and this is also 10. So if this is theta, so tan theta is equal to adjacent by opposite, right? 10 by 10, which is equal to tan theta is equal to 1. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 1, which is equal to 45 degrees. This is how we got the value of this angle as 45 degrees. Okay, you can copy this one. So these are the forces we have to calculate. However, we will not take forces of force in member FH, FG and GH, isn't it? Those forces will remain as it is. So now what we have to do, we have to take down sigma x is equal to 0 out of this figure, that is sigma x is equal to 0. So how many horizontal forces are there? See here, since it is an inclined force, what happens? We'll be having two components, right? We'll be having two components. So minus FDF plus 20. This one is over. Then we have minus FDG cos 45, right? Minus FDG cos 45. Then we have minus FEG. Minus FEG is equal to 0. Okay, we'll stop here, or else we can do one more thing. Can we simplify this one? We cannot simplify, right? So we'll name this as equation number, let us take 3, equation number 3. Then we have sigma y is equal to 0. Now you can see how many vertical forces we have here. How many vertical forces are there in this one? You tell me. Vertical forces are FDG sine 645. Then we have 10, 22.5, right? So first is minus 10 minus 10, then plus 22.5, okay, plus 22.5, it is going in upward direction, plus FDG sine 45, plus FDG sine 45, FDG sine 45 equal to 0, right? So what are the forces we have here? 22 minus 10, 22.5 minus 10 is 12.5 is equal to FDG sine 45. It's not equal to, it should be plus, equal to 0. So FDG is equal to minus 12.5 whole divided by sine 45. Sine 45 degrees. So FDG is equal to minus 17.67. 17.67 Newton. So force in member DG is 17.67. Okay. Now what we will do, we will try to calculate moment of all forces about point G. Moment of all forces about point G. Moment of all forces about point this point. Moment of all forces, because we have only two equations. So next equation should be moment. So what we will do here is, we will try to calculate moment of all forces about point G. Moment of all forces about point G is equal to 0. So force in member EG and force in member DG will become 0, isn't it? Only force in member DF will be there, isn't it? So minus FDF into 10. This one is going in anti-clockwise direction, right? So minus FDF into 10 plus 20 into 10 minus 22.5 into 10 minus 22.5 into 10 equal to 0. So FDF is equal to, if you simplify this one, you will get FDF into 10, will send this term towards the right hand side, so is equal to 200 minus 222.5, right? 222.5. So what happens? FDF is equal to minus 22.5 divided by 10, which is equal to 2.25 newtons, force in member DF. Okay. Now force in member DG we know, force in member DF we know. Substitute the values of FDF, FDG in equation FDF and FDG in equation number 1. We'll get the value of force in member EG. Force in member EG, which is equal to 34.99 Newton, which is equal to almost 35 newtons. So these are the forces in which we have to actually calculate the forces, that is force in member DG, DF and EG. Okay, this is how we calculate in case of method of sections. Okay, now we'll take down another problem. Take down the question. A cantilever truss. A cantilever truss of 3 meters span is loaded as shown in figure. Find the forces in various members. Find the forces in various members using method of joints. Using method of joints. Okay, so the frame is given in the question itself. This is how the frame looks like, a truss looks like. Okay, take down a bit left side. Cantilever truss is nothing but one end fixed and other end free. Okay, and this is how the base is resting. Like this. This is our cantilever truss. So always remember, cantilever is nothing but it is fixed at one end and free at other end. Okay, so this is 3 meters. This angle is 60 degrees, another angle is also 60 degrees, and we have here one point load of 10 kilonewton. 10 kilonewton. All right, so we have to calculate this one. So forces in these members. Okay, so we'll name this as point A, B, C and D. Okay, so from where shall I start of my calculation? Right, which is very important. Always the selection of joint is very important. From which joint shall I select, that is important. So here in this case, since this is fixed, a cantilever truss is there, so we do not have any reactions, so we can directly go for the joints. So if you see joint A has 10 kilonewton load and two unknowns are there, so I'll select joint A. At joint A, so suppose for example this is joint A. Okay, and one force is going in downward direction, that is 10 kilonewton, and this force is nothing but my force in member AB. Then we have one more horizontal force member, that is force in member AD. Okay, so since it is an inclined force, what happens here again? We'll be having two components, right? Two components, that is FAB. What about this angle? This angle is given to us as 60 degrees. So FAB sine 60 and FAB cos 60. So simplify with sigma x is equal to 0. How many horizontal forces are there? You see, we have only one horizontal force, that is minus FAB cos 60 is equal to 0. That implies FAB is equal to 0. Force in member AB is equal to 0. Next is we have sigma y is equal to 0. So how many vertical forces we have here? Sigma x, we have FAD also, right? Cos 60 minus FAD is equal to 0. So we'll name this as equation number 1. Sigma y is equal to 0 we have, so minus 10 plus FAB sine 60 is equal to 0. So force in member AB is equal to 10 by sine 60. So FAB is equal to 10 by sine 60 is how much? 10 by sine 60 is 11.54 kilonewton. 11.54 kilonewton. This is force in member AB we got. Next is, if you substitute the value of FAB in equation number 1, that is minus, it is outside, 11.54 into cos 60 is equal to FAD, right? So what happens? What is the value of FAD now? 11.54 into cos 60 is minus 5.77 kilonewton. Okay, we got the value of force in member AD also. Now force in member AB we have calculated, force in member BD also we have calculated. Now we will calculate force in member BC and BD. So to calculate that, which joint shall I select? Shall I select joint D or shall I select joint B? If I select joint B, we can easily calculate force in member BC and even force in member BD also, right? So we'll try to take down joint B. So at joint B, suppose this is joint B, okay, and what are the forces acting at joint B? One is horizontal force, exactly horizontal force, right, which is force in member PC. Then we have an inclined line like this. This is force in member BD, right? Force in member BD. Then we have here force in member AB. Now the time is to take down the angles. Now this time we have to take down the angles. So what happens to the angles? Force member BD is making an angle of 60 degrees with x-axis, right? This is 60 degrees. What about force in member AB? AB is also making an angle of 60 degrees. See here, if suppose this is the line, inclined line, this one, this is B and this is A. If this angle is 60, then what happens? This angle is also 60. The same thing I am writing here. Okay, this angle is 60 given to us. Alternate angle will also be 60 degrees. Okay, so now we must have two components, FBD cos 60 and FBD sin 60. Okay, and here also we have an inclined force, so here we'll be having FAB cos 60 and here we'll be having FAB sin 60, isn't it? So start with sigma x is equal to 0. How many horizontal forces we have here? Minus FBC, right? Then minus FBD cos 60 plus FAB cos 60 plus FAB cos 60, okay, equal to 0. Fine. Name this as equation number 4. Let us name this as equation number 4. Next, sigma y is equal to 0. Vertical forces, you can see we have two vertical forces and both of them are going in downward direction. That is FBD is going in downward direction and FAB is also going in downward direction. That is minus FBD sin 60 minus FAB sin 60 is equal to 0. right? So we know the value of FAB. What is force in member AB we got? Force in member AB is 11.54. We have calculated just now. Force in member AB is 11.54. So substitute here 11.54. You will get, send this term towards right hand side. Force in member BD into sine 60 is equal to minus 11.54 into sine 60. Sine 60 will get cancelled. So force in member BD is equal to minus 11.54 kilonewton, right? Force in member BD is calculated. Now, if we know the force in member BD, substitute force in member BD here and AB here, you'll get the value of force in member BC. Okay. So substitute here minus substitute in equation number 4. So minus you have to write as it is. Then what is the value of FBD? Minus 11.54 into sine 60 minus, sorry, this one, right? So minus FBC minus FBD, that is minus of minus 11.54 into cos 60 plus FAB. What is the value of FAB we got? FAB is again 11.54 only, right? So plus 11.54 into cos 60. 11.54 into cos 60 is equal to 0. So take this term towards right hand side. You will get FBC minus into minus, you will get plus. So 11.54 plus 11.54. If you add these terms, you will get the value of FBC as 11.53 newtons. Okay, so once you know all the values, now we have to formulate a tabular form, that is members, magnitude, nature. Members, magnitude and nature. So how many members he asked us to calculate? All members, right? AB, BC, BD and AD. What are the magnitudes we have? 11.54, we got it as positive, so tension. Then we have for BC it is 11.53, since it is positive, so tension. For BD we got again 11.53, but it was in negative sign, so compression. For AD the value is 5.77 and the value is minus 5.77, so we'll write here compression. Okay. So this is how we calculate for cantilever trusses. So this is about method of sections and method of joints related to cantilever problems. Okay, cantilever trusses. Okay, hope you all have understood this topic. So thank you.